Virtually Speaking podcast, Explore Edition. My name is Pete Flecha, and joining me as usual is my good friend, Mr. John Nicholson. John, hola, Juan.
I'm getting ready for things, Pete. I'm just trying to, have a real clean diet. I've got my fruit juice here, really just going straight vegan, raw vegan, level 7
Commendable.
vegan, like nothing that casts a shadow, low sodium, lots of hydration, just to get ready.
You're preparing for all the copious amounts of sodium that your body's going to have to absorb.
Yeah, the olives, the jamon, the papas bravas.
That's
Catalan
right.
crema. It's. I've got to be ready to eat terrible for a week. So you gotta
Absolutely.
start early. Just nothing but salads. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, absolutely. VMware Explore is upon us. It's only days away at this point, and I'm getting excited. And we always try to do a little bit of a preview episode just to talk a little bit about maybe some things that people should know before they go, things that we're excited about for the event, and yes, things that people are looking forward to. So we are not alone. We've got a great panel of folks that actually make this show happen. And we're going to walk through all of them for sure. Starting with our good friend Frankie over there in the communities, Frankie Barragas. Frankie, how you doing, buddy?
Excellent. How you guys doing?
Yeah,
Um,
man.
yeah, this is my first time here. And you know what? This is actually going to be my first time in Barcelona too. I've never been before.
Really?
Yeah, all these years, man. I was a customer for about a decade, and yeah, never got the opportunity. But
John, did
yeah,
you
no,
notice he said Barcelona? See, he's already
I was
already
going to
doing
say
the
he's already got
Castilian
the
accent.
accent down. It's all about them THs.
yeah, no.
Absolutely.
I used to listen to Julio Iglesias, and right, he was the kind of music, right? I think he's from Spain, and so yeah, it's that kind of stuff. Yeah, no. So
Very
so
good.
being here, right? Working with the code community. Yeah, I'm excited. Right, but one of the highlights for me is definitely the hackathon, and
Yeah,
yeah,
we're gonna be covering the hackathon. We're gonna be covering VMUG. We're gonna be covering all the things that everybody should know. But before that, let's introduce the rest of the panel here. Joining us, also from the communities area, she runs the VMTM community area. Julia Klaus. Julia, welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me here.
Yeah, we're excited to have. I know every time we're at Explore, whether it's Las Vegas or Barcelona, I see that community area is just packed with people. It's the place to go to recharge and do all kinds of stuff. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. I'm curious to see what you guys got going on this week. But before we do, we're going to bring on last and not least. He is a product marketing manager in the VMware Cloud Foundation division, but he's also one of the judges of the hackathon, Michael Roy. Michael, welcome.
Howdy, howdy. Love being on with you guys. Always a pleasure working together.
Yeah, looking
I'm
forward to
hanging out
seeing.
here in the Discovery Center over in the Fishbowl. Been doing a bunch of videos this past couple of days that are all going to come out around a little after Explore. So a lot of fun stuff we've been cooking up here. As you can see how nice this looks here in the reverse.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought at first it was one of those wallpapers, but no, you are in the fishbowl over there at
Yeah,
Broadcom headquarters.
we're getting really clever with it.
Very nice, very nice, cool. All right, well, yeah. Why don't we start with Frankie? Frankie, I know you you work with communities, but you're running the actual hackathon. I've been to I think one or two of the hackathons in previous years. Haven't been in a couple of years. I'm curious. Let's start basics. What is it, and then how can people get involved?
yeah. So the basics. I in my eyes, right, it's all about just people coming together, hanging out, and let's see if we can put something together on a computer, right? It's not it could be hacking, it could be people creating whatever they want, right? An app. Um, I've been trying to hack together an iOS app, honestly, because I don't know how to do that. So it's stuff like that. Or if you want to do anything VMware related as well, that's also really cool. So yes, Michael's going to be one of our judges, but we also have Alan Renouf that's also coming by, and yeah, so he's not coming by. He's also a judge. So it's stuff like that, right? Just people coming together, and anybody that knows Alan, right? Very welcoming person, and just we just want to see people succeed. To be honest with you, so that's going to be happening Tuesday night.
Yeah, Alan Renouf. Yeah, he's the perfect judge for something like this because he has been hacking forever. I mean, he's been responsible for so many admin tools over the years, and just really he's been a big part of the hacking community, if you will, at VMware for years. So perfect person. Obviously, Michael Roy, another perfect person. Who's the third judge?
Lino. So Lino Tellera, he's from Italy and he's a code coach. Yeah, so he's heavy into Terraform. So yeah, so it's just yeah, you have different people, right, that you can pick their brains, and yeah, so he's also been part of the community for years, and I believe he was at the hackathon last year as well. Again, I didn't participate in Barcelona, so but yeah, just that's
Nice.
happening Tuesday.
So it's not just Power CLI, right? Like people can go and create anything, right? Usually it's like, oh, it's who can do the best Power CLI scripting wins, but it's I guess it's evolved to more than just that, correct?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I last year we had the winning team run by I'm sorry in Vegas. The winning team run by Stefan. So Stefan's out of the UK. He works from Broadcom. He had a powerhouse of a team. It was honestly not fair, and they worked with Terraform and put together things with VRA, and just to take advantage of all the goodness there, and we're able to deploy things. So yeah, so you can do the coding thing, but if you're good at and building web pages, right? You can definitely do whatever you want. Yeah, it is not Power CLI focused. It is not API focused. It's just how I said. It's about having fun and making sure that the other people on your team are able to kind of learn something, and then hey, let's put it up on GitHub later so that it's accessible to the rest of the community to go ahead and learn and have fun.
I love it. I love it. So,
Yep.
Michael, where actually this isn't going to be done in the actual Fira, right? Is this going to be somewhere else? Is this what are some of the details around this event? Do you know?
Yeah, Frankie, we got a venue just outside of it, if I recall, right?
Correct. Yeah, it's happening in the same location as last year.
Okay. So I think
Yeah. So I also wasn't there last year, so I'm looking forward to this. But what I wanted to kind of chime in with was like, Frankie, like obviously you're on point. You're running this thing, and it's and you're hitting all the notes. But the one thing that I think folks get the most value out of with the hackathon is just having that sense of community, right? And so there's kind of two aspects to that. One is like like you said, we show up in the room, we're commiserating, we're solving problems together, and hopefully that working together to solve problems means that we're coming together with a good solution for that can help everybody, right? And that's why the great thing about leaving it on GitHub after the fact, and it really kind of helps everybody who's not able to attend show up. And the second part is really about how you can solve a very unique problem that you might have. Like, it's one thing to kind of like, yeah, we hacked this Terraform provider, we hacked this, like this, this tool or whatever. But ultimately, we're trying to solve some problem that we have. And I'll guarantee that if you think of a problem that you probably have in your day to day as you work, with VMware technology or with other technology, there's probably somebody else who's got that similar problem to you. So having that time where you can sit down, focus, and then put something together and then share that with the community, to me, that's what community is all about.
I like it. I like it. And I can see here on the notes it's actually on Tuesday, the 5th of November. It's from 6 to 8. So it's pretty much after all the main stuff. So you can go to the event all day, but then I guess it's walkable over to this place, which is called, and I'm not going to even try and butcher this location, but once you're at the event, you'll find all the signs for it. But it's in walkable distance, and I hear there's going to be tapas, wine, and beer there. It should be a good time. I've only been to a few of them, and they've been a lot of fun. I love to see the collaboration. I love to see the competition between teams. I think it makes for an exciting way to sort of add to the event. You're there all day, learning, networking, and then this just sort of just is like the icing on the cake.
I mean, it also feels like an extension of the networking in a way also, though, is that you're getting to meet with people that you might have interacted with online before, but getting to interact with them in real life, that can help people professionally, as well as just, form connections of people who can help you with a script or something later on.
Yeah, absolutely. Very cool.
That's what community is all about.
Absolutely. So yeah, that's happening on Tuesday, as I mentioned, and but that's not all. There's a ton of stuff happening in the communities area. Julia, let's walk through a couple of things that people can expect over in the communities. Which first thing I noticed is it's no longer in the hub. So why don't we start with it actually where it is?
Yes, this year we don't have the hub, so we're going to be located on the expo, which is nice because all the community got have to access to all the expo, the snacks and everything that we have available on expo, and everybody will be being able to gathering all in the same place. So yeah, we don't have many all the same activities that we had for all the areas. So it would made more sense to have us by the expo.
Yeah, absolutely. I noticed when there was no hub, I was like, but man, there's always so much stuff in the hub. But it's like, I looked on the map, I said, oh, wow, look at that. Communities is like dead in the center, like across from the VMware booth. So you can't miss it. And people are usually looking for that because it's usually a place to go for like blogging table and other things. So like, what is actually in the booth this year?
Yes. Well, we start to organize all of it this in March. So we work hard the whole year to be sure that we have everything that the community enjoys, the VMware Explore, and everything that we had Las Vegas. We are being sure that you also have those offerings at VMware Explore Barcelona. So I can list here for you, and we're gonna have the Cold Theater with 40 seats, all the sessions booked, all the 40s. We have how many? 38, 40. Always varies a little bit because every day there's one changing. But 40 sessions on code, and the quick talks are former VMTN. We renamed, but we're still knowing them as a VMTN quick talks. 40 seats as well. The theater always packed in Vegas. We're expecting the same in Barcelona. Some of our favorite sessions that we'll talk in the ahead, not right now. We have a waiting line of over 70 people. So I'm excited about that. Cold
Wow.
Labs as well. Um, Eric and Frankie will be running some code labs. We have 3 tables with 24 seats on the back of the front, the entrance where we have the front desk. We have those code labs happening there. It's always super interactive, good opportunity to learn, to code and geek a little bit as well. For this one, you need to on content catalog you have to subscribe and reserve your seat because they're usually packed and we run out like a few weeks prior. We also have the front desk, of course, where you can go interact with all our community team there. There's going to be the legacy, the old folks from always, Eric, Corey, Noel. I was in 2000. I can see that I put my badge from 2017 here because I
Ah,
wanted
there it
to.
is.
So when I say, I know that there are people that are attending Explore since 2010. We have a few of those, but from 2017, I can consider myself already a bit of a legacy on VMware Explore. Uh,
Wow,
and
2017. Let's see. Panel here. Anybody been here longer than 2017 going to explore?
oh,
A
Yeah,
couple
yeah,
of
yeah.
us.
Yeah, I think my first one was 2011, I think. But not really. Yeah, I think one was 2011. So yeah, and I've been going to every one, Vegas and Barcelona since then. So it's been certainly no comparison to the guy that we had on the Home Labs. I forget his name right now. He's going to kill me.
Mark. Yeah.
Mark, yeah. Mark's been to every single Explore,
really?
VMworld and Explore, both Vegas and Barcelona and
Yeah, I
other
think this is only
countries.
like my 20th show or something, or 21st show. Like, but
Yeah,
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 likewise.
yeah.
My first one was in 2010 as well, and I missed 2011, but I think I've been to every one of them following that, minus the COVID years.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So yeah, you got the bloggers table, you got the sessions, which by the way, you guys do a fantastic job on the sessions. So if you're not, you should, anyone who's checking out regular breakout sessions, those are fantastic as well. Those are 45 minutes. But the codes, the community area has like smaller length in time sessions but man, the speakers are amazing. There's always high quality, very technical speakers out there. There's really good stuff, and they're produced really well. Like you guys are producing them online, and there's like a man. It's very, very professional over there in the communities area. So I would highly recommend folks to. Most people are going to go there anyway. It's not like you guys need a plug for that, but yeah, basically what I'm saying is we'll see you over there for
I'll
sure.
take
But
the plug. I'm doing one of those quick talks. I am thoroughly excited about it. I'm going to be talking a little bit about VCF 9. what I'm trying to do is kind of paint the picture of like, hey, here's like VCF before, here's VCF today, and here's VCF tomorrow, and kind of thinking about, like, hey, as an admin, like, what changes for you through this evolution? Like, I know we talk about a lot of marketing stuff, but like, what does that mean? How do we make that real? And that's one of the things I really try to do with VMUG when we have our webcasts and we go out to user cons and we present this material. We're going to hear a bunch of messages on stage. They're going to tell us about how awesome everything is and everything's cloud on prem and thumbs up, high fives all across the board. But like for an admin who actually needs to like figure out what to do with that information and how to make that value like real in my organization and and just my operations, like what do I do? How do I translate that marketing message to hands-on keyboard? That's what I'm going to try and talk a little bit about. It's kind of what I feel is like sort of one of my missions here at Broadcom now is we got a whole new world and it's complex, it's big, but I tell you, if we get there together, it's a blue sky, and I'm looking forward to sharing that.
Man, sign me up.
Just to wrapping up on our activities, yes, Michael, I've seen that. Also, I see that in the community environment has been, I see the reset with the acquisition, but I see a lot of new faces there. And also I say some of those community folks that are the spine of our community, they are still there. And we have a lot of new people, new generation coming, and I see this mix. This is really exciting. On one side, a lot of new folks eager to learn, and the other side, all those community big advocates that come from have been always here in every big thing that happened on VMware environment. They stick with us, and they're still here. So combining all of this, I'm really excited for the future. Starting a new note on this, Michael. And just to wrap up with our activities, I know I was walking around here a little bit. So we have all those areas, including the VMUG booth as well. We have VMUG leaders that will be there the 3 days, the whole day. So don't miss the chance to go and connect, learn, and check what VMUGs has been cooking all this during this year for you guys. And I know, should not mention, but I know Michael is also excited about big announcements that are coming involving VMUG and VCF. I'm not stepping, but everybody's. I just our swags. We're giving super cool McLaren T-shirts this year for our community members that come to
Nice.
say hello.
So outside of the actual community area, what else is going on? I know there's a lot of events throughout the week, but I'm curious, what else does the communities have their hands in?
Yes, I'm excited to announce that this year we are proudly sponsoring the VRock Stars party, and that's a traditional party that I don't need to do any presentations about that because everybody knows. And this year we are part of it, and it's going to happen on Monday. Um, and I'd like to mention a blog post from Manfred Hofer. He put a blog post together with all the events that are happening during VMware Explore. And it worth to check because we didn't have many events happening at VMware Explore Vegas. And in Barcelona, there's a lot of things to do. Every day you have 2 or 3 things to pick. And I'll leave the link for his blog on the comments on the video for you guys.
Very nice.
And yeah, I think I covered everything. And the ancillary events are happening. The hackathon that Frank is covering and the party.
Yeah, I don't know how the communities area and the VMUG and all you guys seem to be getting a lot of hawk access. Every time I turn around, he's hanging out at the VMUG. He's at your parties. I don't know what we need to do, John, but they
Don't be
definitely
jealous.
got the hawk access.
You got to ask Jean from VMUG. She's the one who's the VMUG. She manages the Hawk part in in meetings. So she's the one who has been making those. She's bringing Hawk, and yes, and he loves VMUG as well. He loves everything community. Seems like, but VMUGs for him. I see that he's excited about attending all those VMUG events. That's exciting for us.
Yeah. What's great about Hawk is that he actually understands the role of the practitioner, and I think in a way that's a lot more nuanced than us at VMware had talked about in our narrative for the past bunch of years, right? We like to talk about a lot of these C-level values and like how we can operationalize and revolutionize and all that good stuff, right? But like Hawk kind of sees past that level, that veneer almost, right? Like those things are real, they're not unreal, but they're nebulous. And so what Hawk really gets with the community is their ability to like make that happen. and like operationalize this stuff and like do real business and do real work and meaningful work, right? It's no more just like hype. Like we're investing in the infrastructure, investing in, you've seen all this innovation that we're going to be talking about on stage and that we've already talked about. Like he really gets how the community makes that real for everybody, right? So we support the community boats lift, our boats lift, everybody's boats lift. That's the whole point. We want to all be successful together here, right? So if you guys want to meet Hawk and you're in the VMUG community, you can absolutely join us for the reception that we're going to be having. And, Hawk's going to be doing a bit of an appearance there. So we're really excited about that. And I will absolutely throw in a shout out to Gene, who made all this happen. The VMUG crew have been absolutely phenomenal to work with. Gene Williams on the board, works for Broadcom. On the VMUG board of directors, absolutely stellar in helping us operationalize all this stuff. So big thanks to her.
Very nice, very nice. Now, if Hawk wasn't all those great things, would you come on this podcast and say it, or?
I mean, I might phrase it differently.
All right, fair enough, fair enough. So, Mr.
No, I'll be
Nicholson,
honest, man. Like coming at
go
first,
ahead.
it was like, we weren't sure what to expect, right? But I'll tell you this: Hawk's a straight shooter. There's no second message there. There's no behind the lines between the words. It's words. It's just that's what you get. And I find it as a breath of fresh air because I really feel like he gets the technology, but he also gets like the reason why we're doing this and the business that we're trying to build together. We don't build technology for technology's sake, but we love the technology because it makes all our lives easier. And I just think he really gets that.
No, you're right. I'm just teasing. So, Mr. Nicholson, I know you're going to be there because you and I actually are going to be podcasting. We did a ton of podcasting in Vegas. For those that weren't there, John and I had a ton of great interviews. We created a playlist of some of the best ones. There's a link to it there. But we are also going to have the booth in Barcelona, one of my favorite cities. And we're going to be.
You can't play that clip too long, Peter. We'll get a copyright strike.
No, you just got to throw some samples over it. Like
this is amazing.
Yes, it is amazing. Ken Wernerberg. What about you, William? Do you like it?
This thing's on fire.
Absolutely. No, but we're gonna be there in Barcelona, and we're gonna be interviewing customers, partners, anybody with a good story. We've got a great booth set up, and because there's no hub. We're actually going to be located in the right before you go into the expo. There's like an area to hang out and recharge, and so we're going to be in that area. It's called the Atrium, and so we'll have our booth set up there. So come on by. Of course, we've got swag, and we're going to be interviewing folks. Side note: if you're there and you'd like to do an interview, hit me up on Twitter or any other DM that I'm accessible. So hit me up, and we'd love to talk to you on Virtually Speaking. But John, aside from the million podcasts that we're going to be doing in Barcelona, what do you got going on this week or next week?
Well, I've got a couple sessions. So I'll be covering vSAN, top operational, doing the workshop with Pete Keeler as always. Also, what's new with vSphere 8? I'll be doing that with Marrera. So that was, I think, the top attended session in Las Vegas, and I will be filling in for Plinkers. In regards to that session. So please come to that. We're going to kind of go across a lot of different features and functionality, especially, what's coming out with 8U3. And we'll touch across that. If you've got vSAN questions on operationalizing and consuming that, come to my session on that. But there's also just a lot of other, I'll be there to meet with people from the community. I'll try to spend as much time as I can at the booth. Maybe make it by Meet the Experts once or twice, but love to have coffee with you guys, and let's talk the tech.
Absolutely. I'd love to talk and see what you guys, anybody, raise your hand, but we would love to see what sessions anybody's looking forward to. Personally, I get on that content catalog and, I search for things like Pete Keeler, and that's how I know what my favorite session is going to be, because I know Pete's going to be dropping knowledge. So, or John Nicholson, something like that. So any sessions you guys are looking forward to specifically? I always like to, I don't know why, I'm interested in the disaster recovery sessions always. I find those to be, I like doom and gloom. I love to see, hear a good disaster story and how somebody saved the day. The AI ones are obviously going to be interesting. There's a lot of change coming on. I'm fascinated by what we're doing with AI in terms of RAG. and Justin Murray and Dennerman are doing some cool stuff on RAG. We're going to actually have them on Virtually Speaking as well to talk about that. But anybody have a session that they're earmarking for Barcelona?
As a community manager, I would be biased, but of course, all the sessions that we choose and we approve, they're approved for a reason. They're all great sessions. But of course, there are a few of my favorites there. That's always home labs. Of course, I love to see the history of home labs, how it happens, and how building branding through VMware and VMware communities can impact their careers. Those are two topics that I usually like to hear. And on the home labs, Mark Hupert, we mentioned him before. He's always one of my favorites. His
Oh,
home
yeah.
labs are amazing, and Valdemar Pera, of course. Valdemar, I also usually look forward to watch his sessions.
Yeah, Valdemar is great. Absolutely. We like to have him on Virtually Speaking as well. He's got so much knowledge and and so much passion as well. It's one of the things I love about him, because not only does he really understand the tech, but he's just like super passionate about it, which is just an extra bonus. But anyone else?
Yeah. So I mean, the home lab. Mark is incredible. I love his discussion. We did the panel in Vegas, and unfortunately, we're not doing that same panel in Barcelona. I think it was a logistics thing, and then William's also not going to be there. So that kind of
Well,
put
but
it
you
out there.
can
But
just
absolutely check the replay.
provide beer to Mark, and he'll explain how to optimize the power footprint of your home lab. Like
He sure will.
That's it. That's it. What from my understanding is, like, a home lab isn't a home lab unless you have 30,000 BTUs of energy powering it. That was my main takeaway. So yeah, that's going to be a great one. But honestly, I'm really looking forward to some of the softer stuff, like the meeting of folks after hours, the meeting of folks in between sessions, the hallway track. Right, that's where the real magic happens. We get the information from those sessions, and they're great, and they help us solve problems and understand how we can think of new solutions if we haven't solved them yet, and all that. That's important. But I think that one of the reasons we get together every year is so that we can have that hallway track. We can have these conversations unfiltered. Maybe you can meet somebody who's in an adjacent industry or the same industry as you, who's solving similar problems, and learn from them, and just understanding that. So I think for me, it's all about the hallway track.
The hallway track. I hadn't heard it said like that before, but yeah, I like that. It's very nice. The hallway track. What about you, Frankie? Anything?
I personally like the deep dive stuff, even if I don't understand it. No joke. There was a speaker back when I was a customer, and this guy just went off. Right, he was on his game. I absolutely loved him, and this guy was spitting knowledge left and right. I was trying to take my notes, right, but it's one of those sessions where I'm like, I'm gonna have to watch the replay. I just don't understand. There's just too much goodness coming out, and so that's the kind of stuff that I actually love. I love feeling stupid because I know that I'm around greatness, right?
Yeah.
That's my jam. But so one of my favorites, one of the ones that I'm looking forward to is a code session. Not just because it's in the code theater, but it's because it has the last time I checked, it has the most people on the wait list, and it is not being delivered by an employee, by Broadcom employees. So it's being delivered by somebody in the community that I haven't met yet, and that to me is exciting. That I get to meet somebody brand new, and then so I reached out to them and I was like, hey, dude, you have almost 200 people on the wait list for your session. I was like, I can't get you a breakout room. I tried. I was like, but yeah, so they're going
Oh,
to
that's
do a
cool.
replay as well. Yeah. So in other sessions too, the group that another one, Terraform. So Terraform, I'm not a big user with Terraform, especially now, right? Working marketing, but but some of the team members that won the hackathon in Vegas, they're delivering a session, and it was full. I'm telling you, full of demos. Yeah, just full of things. That session also had over 150 people on the wait list, so they're actually doing a repeat of it, but in a breakout room on Thursday. So that right, it's that kind of stuff, man, where it's no joke. How we talk about Hawk, and he understands the IT practitioner, and the proof is in the pudding. People are signing up for the sessions where they can actually learn something, and it's exciting to see.
I
That's
like
it.
it. Are they doing those sessions, those demos? Are they going to do them live?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Nice. I like
Yeah.
live demos. I don't like,
Yes.
I don't like,
Do it live.
I like them live, baby.
I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Absolutely.
That's it.
But sweet. All right. So last thing I want to say before I let you guys go. Obviously, everyone comes. They come to learn. They come to network. Obviously, I agree, Michael. That's to me that's worth that's worth everything. Is the networking opportunities, the hallway conversations. But man, it's also in a really really nice city, and there's a lot of cool things to do after the event. Any tips? Number one, I'm curious to see if you guys have any tips for folks that are coming to
Sagrada
Barcelona.
Familia. Sagrada Familia.
Sagrada Familia. Tips, but yeah, also any tips about attending the event, but also when you're not at the event. I'll leave it up to you guys. And yes, Sagrada Familia is definitely a good one.
Especially if you go year on year, because it's still under construction. So it's been under construction since 1850 or something
Did
like
finish
that. And
though?
so
I
seeing
heard they
it,
finished.
yeah,
No,
I
no,
think
no.
I thought it was finishing like next year or like
Oh.
25, 26, 27 maybe.
Yeah, it's
But
getting
it's
closer
close.
though. It's the last 10 years I have seen a lot. Make sure when you book your tickets and you book them early, get the tower tour where they send you up the construction elevator all the way to the top. Unless you're scared of heights, in which case, like, don't do that.
There's also, if you want to take a trip outside of town, there's Montserrat, which is really exciting. So you can get on the train from the metro, and it takes about 45 minutes outside of town, and it's this like monastery and built into the side of a mountain.
Yeah.
It's really incredible. Totally worth it if you have a day trip to do it. Otherwise, from the city's perspective, like if you're trying to get a cab, getting out of your hotel room, go early. There's tons of them, but if you miss that window and they're all already taking other people, you missed your window, and you gotta take the metro. But the metro's great too, so you can get on the subway and you get there pretty quickly too.
I think a lot of
But,
people don't even
yeah.
realize there is a metro, but yeah, you should really look into the metro if you're not aware of it, because it's just as quick as taking a taxi sometimes. If you go early, as Michael mentioned, no problem. Taxis are usually there, assuming there's not a strike. But if you're not going early, then you might want to look and see if there's a metro close to you, because that actually gets you very close to the event. Yeah, it's pretty easy.
The hotels at the events usually peaks. They're strategically chosen to be close to some metro, and that's straight line to the Gran Via.
Nice to the Fira, right? Was it Fira Gran Via?
Fira Gran
La
Via.
Fira.
That's what you got to tell the taxi driver, and you need to tell them it's the south side, right?
North.
El Sur or north? Norte. There we go.
John just got everybody lost.
North.
Yeah,
not
everyone's at
south.
an RV convention, or there's always like something weird on the other side. So yeah, El Norte.
Yeah, and when you make it to the event, I would say bring a sweater, because even if it's only like 70 degrees or 65 degrees outside and it feels like it's nice, once you get in those events, man, after being indoors for like half a day, all of a sudden, yeah, I would definitely bring a sweater, because it can get pretty chilly in there.
What's the
let's
weather
see.
like out there? Sorry,
Oh,
yeah,
it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Okay.
Like it's pretty. It's mild compared to a lot of other places, so it's actually pretty nice. Usually they have great sunny weather. I heard there might be some rain when we're there, but normally it's just really nice. The weather is usually not an issue. I'm more concerned about being indoors and then not having a sweater because of all the AC and everything. But yeah, it's the weather is usually pretty great. The party this year, they're having a band called RPJ. It's an RPJ band. They're basically one of those cover bands that play like AC/DC and then Nirvana, like things like that. But I actually saw them once at NetApp Insight, and they're not bad. I mean, for what it's worth. If you want to go see a cover band and and have a mosh pit with a bunch of enterprise nerds, then yeah, if that's your gig, man, you know where to be.
I expect to see Duncan and Frank in the front of that. Like, nothing will ever change.
Yeah, for sure. But hey,
Another last piece of advice I'll throw out
yeah.
there too is the sangria. Be careful; it hits hard.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Especially when you're waiting for your table, you go to eat tapas, right? And then some of these places will actually let you order pitchers outside while you're waiting for your table. And if your table takes too long, yeah, hydrate. That's all I'm going to say.
One thing here, yeah. So yeah, I've never been to Barcelona, but here in Seattle, one super fun thing that I did with the family. We got a Groupon here. years back, and we it was a Segway tour. So that is like the very first thing I looked up over there. I'm like, you know what, maybe I'll do something like that, so I'm not really stuck anywhere and I can just move around. And it's like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. And yeah, so that's what I'm looking forward to. And yes, how John said, Sagrada Familia. So I'm gonna swing by there probably and do the thing, and there it is. Yeah, just nice and quick to get back to work. So looking forward to that.
Oh, hopefully nice and quick. The one time in 2017 when we were there, there was the Catalonian Revolution, and so we went to the Sagrada Familia and started walking, and all of a sudden, 1 million people were in the streets protesting.
Yeah.
It was pretty wild. So hopefully that's all settled down now. But you never know. Stuff happens.
Stuff does happen, absolutely. Well, I think we've covered a bunch of stuff here. For folks that have never been, man, come by the Virtually Speaking and the community areas. We'd love to say hi and meet you or chat with you. And I hope you have a great time. I mean, it is a great event. I mean, there's a lot of great networking. I know there's going to be some announcements there. We're certainly not going to talk about them on this podcast until next week or when we're actually on site. But yeah, there is some cool stuff coming. I know there's some a newer version of VCF they'll be talking about some of the advancements on that, but also in other areas, I think there's some exciting announcements. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the hands-on labs. I'm looking forward to just getting out and enjoying some lovely tapas with my good friend Juan and anybody else who wants to join. So yeah, with that, I want to thank you guys for joining me on Virtually Speaking, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you for having me.
I'm looking forward to you, Pete. I'm looking forward